Hey everyone, just taking a second, I wanted to look at the Affliction Warlock. It's one of my favorite warlocks. It's very manage based, and you got to really manage what you're doing. This is not so much an end-game guide as I wanted to show what the Affliction Warlock has to offer early on in Warlords of Draenor, as some caster classes tend to feel kind of weak starting off in a new expansion, and I'm still in some pretty old Mists of Pandaria gear, and I'm able to have fun with it and enjoy playing. So just a real quick thing with Warlocks, I really don't like the talent setup. I'm not a huge fan. It's all very support based to yourself. It really doesn't get interesting until level 75 when you have Supremacy, Service, or Sacrifice. Those three are pretty cool. Supremacy's good I think Supremacy's better for demonology. You can have just a stronger demon out. It's not too bad. I go for Sacrifice though, as it gives me that 25% increase to Drain Soul, Haunt, and Drain Life. I use Drain Soul. That's your go-to ability, and then Haunt every chance I can. Level 90 is pretty cool. I like having 2 charges of my Dark Soul, just because that's a 30% haste increase that comes in handy. But all of them have a purpose. If you have a fight that you're moving around a lot in, Kil'jaeden's Cunning is the way to go. Got a lot of ads coming around. Manaroth's Fury will definitely come in handy, so you can spread your seed and have some fun. And again, like I said, this is for people just starting off in the level 90s, just starting off in Warlords of Draenor, so I'm not going over anything level 100, because I'm not level 100 myself. I'm still working on this one, so I'll be leveling it right beside you. But I just wanted to go over some of the things I've seen and enjoyed as playing so far, and I don't want the Affliction Warlock to get a bad rap anymore, because some people just said it was horrible because it feels like it's slow, it takes forever to get good DPS, and I think I found a way to mitigate that. So we'll go right into it. For a single target, if you want just the basic single target, you're going to want to use Haunt, Unstable Affliction, Agony, Corruption, and then Drain Soul. Drain Soul is going to have your Agony tick up as far as it can. Once it gets to 9 or 10, just reapply it. Boop, now it's back up. Unstable Affliction, Corruption. You see how I just keep them going. That is the basics of basics when it comes to Affliction. Just keep those 3 going, and use Haunt when you can. That's going to increase everything by 30, or all of them by 30%. So you want to keep that up. That's going to give you that little extra boost to your DPS. Now, if you want to get a little more fancy with it, you can integrate in Soul Burn and Soul Swap. And what that combination will do is it'll automatically put your all of your things on your brain fart. Well, anyway, all your dots. I was trying to think of the actual term for them, but all your dots up. So, as you can see, just boop, they're all there, and then you can just drop Drain Soul. Just keep those dots ticking. Alright, oh, yay, my mission's complete. Fantastic. With one thing you want to pay attention to with Agony is, you see how it's running out? Boop, it was at 10, now it's back to 1 again. Agony, if anything, is your priority once it reaches 10. You want to keep Agony going at all times once it reaches 10. Which should be fast, because Drain Soul will cause it to double up. It will, every time it does damage, it increases by 1. Drain Soul will make it do more damage, so it'll keep increasing. Because you can see, 6 seconds in, it's now I'm 28 seconds of 10, so now I'm getting more damage out of it. You can even go, if you go Dark Soul, like I said, you go Dark Soul with it. It's 30% haste. With 30% haste, your dots are hitting hard, or hitting faster. Now, with the Affliction Warlock, when it comes to stats are pretty easy because it says it right there. Increases the damage of Agony, Corruption, Unstable Affliction by 77%. Those would be the 3 spells or 3 dots that I keep up at all time. I want them to hit like a truck, so guess what I'm gonna stack? Mastery. Now, another good thing to start building on is haste, because with haste, your dots are gonna tick faster, which means they're gonna be ticking more, which means you're gonna be doing more damage. Now, with the integration of multi-strike, your dots can multi-strike each time they deal damage. So, if you have high mastery, you're dealing more damage. If you have high haste, you're dealing damage more often. And you have decent multi-strike, you're now dealing additional damage more often. So your dots are now ticking a bunch of times instead of just every so often. So you're getting really fast, decent hitting dots, constantly going off. Plus, you're using Drain Soul, which is even increasing your dots by even more, causing them to accumulate faster. And you can increase your time by, let's see, so if I want to use, say I use, let's make sure I'm on them. You know, there's Agony at 22 seconds. Now Agony's at 32 seconds. It went up by 10 seconds. You know, now it's at 28. Now I'm at 31. I'm going up. I can get up to a certain point. It's usually around 30 seconds. 31. You know, I can do this one. Put my corruption out. It's 15 seconds. 23 seconds. You know, each of them have that time. You can get that buffer zone. So just the minimum, you can get a little extra on there. I'm not saying spam it. Just you can get that little extra on there. But yeah, for your stats, that's what you want to go for. Now, talked about talents. One of the glyphs I really like is Glyph of Unstable Affliction. 25% reduction to cast time. Comes in handy. You know, with my haste, my Unstable Afflictions, 1 second, boom, nice dot. So the other ones are, you know, I get health. You know, with my corruption spell, I get some health back, cool beans, and Soulstone 100%. Soulstone comes in handy doing early 5-mans because some tanks feel like they're Superman and can do whatever they want. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, especially when you're starting off in an expansion, going from barely any gear ending an expansion to no gear starting an expansion. Well, so that's single target. But what about multi-target? How do we do multi-target? Well, let's scootaloo on over here to the multi-targets. Alright, so for multi-target, you can do it the super duper complicated way of putting all your dots on one target and then tabbing and putting all your dots on another target and then tabbing and putting all your dots on the other target, and that's not worth it. It's not worth your time. So I've come up with 2 ways that can help you. Number 1, and then I'll talk about the spicy version of them. Number 1, spread your seed. Seed of Corruption. Tab. Seed of Corruption. Tab. Oh, got the same one again. But as you can see, when one popped, so like when this first one popped, it popped my second one. And then by the time the second one popped, I could have my third one on it. Seed of Corruption. Seed of Corruption. Oh, not on the friendly. Seed of Corruption. So now I've got damage going out because I've got the first one popped, which popped the second one, and this one pops, it'll pop the second one that I have out. I'm going to constantly keep no less than 2 out. So they're constantly going to be popping, so you're going to have big burst AoE damage. Now another thing you can do, if you want to just supplement a little extra damage in there, if you use Soul Burn, that first Seed of Corruption you use, when it pops, everyone it hits will get Corruption on it. Now it used to be, you couldn't have Corruption and Seed of Corruption on at the same time. That's not it anymore. You can do that. So you do Soul Burn, Seed of Corruption, boop, tab, Seed of Corruption, tab, Seed of Corruption. Oh, look at that. Oh, I've got both of them on there. Look at that. Oh, and see, now I've got my dots constantly going, and I can still spam Seed, and Seed will still pop. And then when I notice Corruption's getting low, just pop Soul Burn, Seed of Corruption again, and keep Corruption going. So you can do great AoE damage, especially for longer AoE fights or with lots of ads, just big old piles and mobs of ads. Your DPS is going to go through the roof because you're going to have dots going, burst is going. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. So that's a simple way. It's a pretty simple way with a little bit of spice in there. You can, you can throw in your Dark Soul Misery to get that haste buff, to speed up those corruptions and speed up the Seed of Corruption so that it pops on itself. That's if you want to speed up your process, get even more burst out of there, and just look awesome. So, what if you want to have all your dots on someone at a time? Okay, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can manually put all your dots on, so 1, 2, 3, and then use Soul Swap. Pulls them out, so you have 3 seconds to push them into another target. Pull them out, push them into another target. You see, so now I've got whatever it was when I pulled it out is on the next target. But it's kind of hard to upkeep that. But it's a good way to get started. You can push them all out, have all your dots out real quick, and then you can manage them how you want to. Maybe, one ad needs to go down first. Well, you've been doing damage to all of them, but now you can focus down the other one. You know, you focus down the one you need to focus down, and then move back. You've done some damage, you're good to go. And then as your shards come back, you know, you can do more. All right. Now that's one way, but it's kind of slow at the start, isn't it? Well, to fix that, you use Soul Burn again. Soul Burn plus Soul Swap equals instant dots. So Soul Burn, Soul Swap, boom. They all have all 3 dots on them at their max time. So you just pull from there and push to you. Pull from there and push to you. And there you go. And if you want to update them again, you can just do that. And then what I would do is use Seed of Corruption again with Soul Burn. And then now I've got Corruption on everyone. Just kind of bumps that back up. And then yeah. So nice sexy dots going out. That's what you want. You want to keep dots out as much as possible. So last but not least is, when do you use your big guys? Okay? For single target, I found that your Doom Guard's your best. And for multi-targets, Infernal. I would say, I want to say 3 to 4. I would go ahead and still use the Doom Guard, because they're probably going to die pretty quickly behind each other. You start getting, you know, 5, 6, 7, you know, piles of them. Or if it's a pretty good chain pull going, drop the Infernal and he'll just AoE everyone while you're doing your thing. And then they'll, because everything, if anything's either dying fast enough, or like I said, you're chain pulling, he'll be doing pretty good damage, whereas your Doom Guard's only going to be hitting 1. So it's really up to what you're doing in the fight. You know, what does the fight need? Does it need strong AoE? Well, I can do this. If it needs strong single target, I can do this. But again, the way you guys should know this by now from me, it's all about what you want to do. I offer my opinion, what I've seen that works for me. I want to see you guys. I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think, what works for you, and I'm going to work on working this I almost called it a rogue. Oh my gosh. Working my Warlock up there, playing with Affliction some more, and having some fun with it. And if I see anything that's changed along the way, I'll be sure to let you know. But until then, I will catch you next time. Laters.